Hey, my friends. So I was not expecting to do this, but I just got some international mail. Does anyone know that catalog? Is it even around anymore? Anyway, that's not the point. I know what this is. I thought this was going to take weeks to come in, and it arrived today, and I'm delighted, and I'm super excited to see it, and so I figured, let's unpackage it on video, and we'll share it. So this is going to be Cilla Conway's new self-published edition of the Intuitive Tarot. And I was a pre-orderer of this, and am super excited to see it. So here we go. Let's take a look. If you have not been following, whoops. This is how excited I get as I start throwing things. If you have not been following her progress, she has a Facebook group, and she actually did some sort of not crowdsourcing of information, but she was very interested in getting folks' feedback in terms of how the cards would look in this edition, and what the size would be, what the packaging would be like, etc. So she was, it was a very sort of like public and interesting process, and definitely exciting. As usually happens with boxes like this, there's an international shipping, there's some crushed edges, but I am not a perfectionist in that way. It's a really nice box. So this is not a new deck. This was around for a while. It was a mass market edition, and it's gone out of print. It's become very popular. I don't even really know how difficult the original edition is to get, but I just like supporting artists as they're throwing things out into the, not throwing things out, as they're putting things out into the world. So, really nice box. So it says on the back, the second edition of the Intuitive Tarot, 14 years after the original edition was published, has a larger format with a black title border. The booklet has been extensively revised and manages to be both detailed and succinct. The Intuitive Tarot allows you to connect with your subconscious to develop your intuition and, should you wish it, to follow the path of deeper self-awareness. Carl Jung called this the path of individuation. The Intuitive Tarot draws on concepts such as archetypes, synchronicity, active imagination, and the unconscious. Cilla Conway's Intuitive Tarot is not just another tarot deck. It is a sophisticated tool for self-development. The more you work with the cards, the more you'll understand the worlds from whence they emerged and the greater understanding of yourself. So let's take a look. It's a lift top box, really beautiful inside and out. There's images of the cards here. A nice little booklet, glossy pages. Some suggestions, some notes in the back. I've always been drawn to this art style. Her particular art style in this deck. So let's see. It says here in the box, look into the Fool's Mirror, Seeker. The Intuitive Tarot is both mirror and teacher, and if you look deeply and honestly enough, will show you what you need to learn. The 78 facets of life contained herein may not be what you want to see, but they will be what you need to learn. So they are large cards. Beautiful back. Cardstock is nice and satin, and feels nice. It's probably close in size to the Margareta Peterson Tarot. Maybe a little smaller. Yeah, just a hair smaller on the sides, and maybe half an inch on the top. But this is really my first time seeing this deck, so let's take a look. It might be closer to the World Spirit, although the new version of the World, yeah, it's like somewhere between. Anyway, let us zoom in. Yoink, and take a look at this gorgeous art. So here's the Fool, the beautiful Magician. This reminds me of Lady Frida Harris's artwork, in a way. The Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, I really like this Lovers card because it is, it seems sort of gender neutral, and there's like a darkness to it, which I really kind of like. It's the Chariot. Justice. Love this Hermit. Look how beautiful. There's like monsters, and there's a snake, and there's the sort of monster here. There's wolves. It's in the corner up here. I can't quite see. It looks like a void. Really beautiful. There's the Wheel. Strength. The Hanged Man. Here you can sort of see that like Lady Frida Harris vibe from the Thoth deck. It's a beautiful death card too. Look at that. Temperance. There's like a deco quality to the art, and then there's just this beautiful flow that I've always loved about this deck. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment. Beautiful World card. There's the Ace of Wands or Batons. The 2. Love this. 3. 4. That's beautiful. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Really beautiful. There's a very utilitarian, social realism kind of quality to this art. It reminds me of like the 1920s sort of atlas in the Rockefeller Center. Here's the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King, and then we move into Cups. So here's this very deco, very beautiful ace. Yeah, the aces are ones in this deck. 2, really beautiful 3, 4. So it has a Rider-Waite-Smithness to it. 5, 6. That's great. 7. 8, 9, 10, 'Here's the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. Here we are in discs. The Ace, 2, 3, it's Metropolis, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then we have the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and then the King. And then finally we get into swords. Here's the Ace of Swords. 2, 3. It's going right through the mind, which I think is really interesting, and the way then this one connects the mind and the heart. Fascinating. The 4, 5, 6, 7, it's beautiful. 8, 9, 10, look at that. And then the page, the knight, the queen, and then the king. So these are gorgeous. Let's see how this shuffles. It's absolutely too large for me to shuffle. And I can't tell if it's riffle shuffleable. Let's try a corner shuffle. Yeah, actually that works really nicely. Which makes me happy because I like to riffle shuffle, yo. I should zoom out. Yoink. Overhands really nicely. And let's see how it looks. Let's see if I can do 9 cards. This actually shuffles really nicely, I should say. Alright, but let's not go overboard. Whee! I love when a deck slides nicely over itself that way. So it is a large deck, but it fits nicely on my table for a 9 card, which makes me happy because that's one of my favorite spreads, and looks gorgeous. Just sort of take the light away a little bit. Really, really nice. The way that these ovoid shapes in each card sort of frames each image. I was thinking, I actually didn't mind the borders on the older edition from what I've seen of it. And I thought, it's sort of a pity we're, taking the frame away. But actually, there's a natural frame to each of these images. And so though they work together, there's a nice flow in addition to a nice individual moment for each card. So yeah, beautiful stuff. Looking forward to reading through the guidebook. I believe she also sent us the PDF for the original guidebook, which I think was larger. So this is the new self-published 2019 edition of the Intuitive Tarot by Cilla Conway. And pre-orders for this are over because she stopped shipping. But if you check out her Intuitive Tarot Facebook page, which I will try to remember to put in a link, she has been pretty good about updating everyone on the status. So bravo. And I'm looking forward to getting to know this. And thanks for watching.